This is the iPhone 13. This phone actually came out 4 years ago. So right now, in 2025, is it still a good choice? And if you already have it, is it time for an upgrade? First of all, with the iPhone 17 right around the corner, literally a few days as of recording this video, there's a lot of newer options to look at. But in my opinion, the iPhone 13 actually still has a lot to offer. And it might be a good idea for a lot of people. The design still feels fresh with the squared off aluminum frame. Like for example, compared to the iPhone 15, on the outside looks pretty similar. The only difference is that the iPhone 15 and newer ones have the matte glass on the back, while this one is glossy and it does pick up fingerprints here and there. But other than that, like the same camera orientation like the 15, basically the same design, they just got a little bit more refined with newer versions. It actually still looks and feels pretty modern, especially with iOS 26 installed. Now I have the latest beta version and it actually does give it quite a refresh. So when it comes to the display, using it is actually still pretty decent. It's not 120 Hz, you still get that old school notch. There is no dynamic island on this one. But other than that, it's peaking at 1200 nits, which is absolutely still bright enough outdoors in direct sunlight. You don't get those super high numbers like 2000 or 3000 nits now on the iPhone 17, but it's not a huge noticeable difference day to day. Now, if you care about having 120 Hz on the phone, sure, that's valid, and then this phone is not for you. Then you kind of have no choice but to go with a Pro phone or wait another few days until the iPhone 17 comes out, because that one does have a high refresh rate as well. But if all phones that you had previously were also 60 Hz, then it's not a thing that even should be talked about. But other than that, like I said, the display is really, really good. Now, when it comes to battery life, when it came out, the whole 13 series had top-notch battery life, and now even 4 years later, that is still the case. As long as your battery health is not like below 80% or something like that. This phone has actually been used quite a lot, and as you can see, battery health is at 84%. And for an average user, that is still more than good enough to get you through the day with no issues. If you are a power user, if you are using your phone for gaming a lot or for, let's say, navigation for an extended period of time, then you might notice it, but that's again if the battery has been used, because most likely if you're getting this phone right now, you will most likely get it secondhand. So the easiest solution to this is to just replace the battery, and in that case it will be as good as newer iPhones, if not better in some cases, because like I said, the whole 13 series has been really, really good when it comes to the battery. Especially the 13 Pro Max was like one of the best battery phones, if not the best, back in 2021 when it came out. So as long as the battery health is not really, really low, this battery holds up. Now when it comes to performance, every time I make like an iPhone video, even if it's an older phone like this, like a follow-up review a few years later, chips in these phones are so good that performance has never been an issue. If you are doing something really demanding like 3D stuff, video editing and exporting, rendering, you might notice a hiccup here and there, but in everyday use, this phone is as smooth as it was 4 years ago. From my experience with iPhones in general, it's gonna stay smooth for some time. I'm not a huge gamer personally, but you can absolutely game on this phone. If you check like benchmarks, the A15 chip can still go toe-to-toe with some newer ones. Basically, we've come to a point where most smartphones are fast. These phones kind of stay fast the longest. As you can see, and as I mentioned already, it does support the newest version of iOS, which is iOS 26. And I see absolutely no drops in performance, battery life is decent, and it does give it a refreshed vibe. Now, whether you like it or not, in general, iOS 26 can be debated. Some people really like the way it looks, others don't like the new liquid glass design. Pretty subjective, but when it comes to like performance, usability, day-to-day stuff, this phone is still running really well with iOS 26. By the way, if you want to see a detailed walkthrough of iOS 26 on the new iPhone 17 series, definitely subscribe to the channel, because that's going to be coming out soon. Cameras on this phone? Still pretty decent. It only has 2 lenses like all base iPhones have, but these are both only 12 megapixels, while newer iPhones got that bumped up to 48. Especially with the new iPhone 17, both lenses are actually 48 megapixels, the main wide lens and the ultra wide, while on this one both are 12 megapixels. Day to day, these cameras are still really, really good. You still get most of these basic features like cinematic mode for video, portrait photography, but it is a bit lighter overall compared to newer iPhones. It does shoot 4K, again, most, if not all phones do nowadays. So there are some newer features that are lacking with this camera, like action mode, not too many options when it comes to zoom with the iPhone 15 and newer, since they had that 48 megapixel main lens, main sensor, they would give you that 2x optical zoom, which you don't get here. So it's just 0.5 and 1x and everything else is digital, up to 5x. Now when it comes to night mode photography, and it's not the same as it is on new iPhones, but it's still really good. And again, if you're using your camera just to kind of take photos of your friends, family, maybe for social media, stuff like that, this is still a really, really good camera system. You know, overall, these just look like iPhone photos. Now, if that's something that you like, then you're gonna be happy with this camera. If you've been using Android phones and you're used to like Samsung's image processing and stuff, then you're probably gonna be more happy with that. But when it comes to the overall quality of photos and video, you're definitely still gonna be happy with these cameras. Oh, and the front-facing camera is in the front and it shoots selfies, I guess. And of course you do get another few years of software updates with this one. So even as a 4-year-old phone, I would say it's actually pretty future-proof. So if you are someone that just needs a phone that works, you don't need the latest and greatest out there, you don't want to give $1,000+ on a phone, that this phone can actually be a really, really good choice for you. It has decent battery life, especially if you get a unit with a good battery health percentage, or worst case scenario, replace the battery. You still get a nice color accurate screen that's more than bright enough, even though it is 60 Hz. You will still get new software features for years to come with new iOS versions. You get a classic iPhone camera that's dependable and kind of just works. If you just want to point and shoot, this will give you a good result most of the time. And the best part about it is that you can actually pick this phone up for around $300 on Amazon renewed. If you go on the secondhand market like eBay, that can get even lower, but in my opinion, for $300, this is actually still a really, really solid phone. Now, if you already have it and you want these latest and greatest features, you are thinking about upgrading, what you do get with newer iPhones, for example, the 17 series, and that you don't get from this one, is basically high refresh rate screen. Unless you're looking at like an iPhone 15 or 16, then you're still stuck at 60 Hz, so no difference there. But if we're talking about the later generation, then yeah, the iPhone 17 does have a high refresh rate screen, a dynamic island, an updated design, kind of like the camera layout is a bit different, and it does have these slightly rounded edges. It's not completely flat like these ones are. You do get USB-C, as the iPhone 13 still gets Lightning. So if you already have a lot of USB-C accessories or other tech that uses a USB-C charger, and you just don't want to lug another one around, then a newer iPhone might be a good idea. Or you want the latest and greatest when it comes to the cameras, but again, it really is not that big of a difference in most situations. But honestly, other than that, this is still a really capable phone, and it's $300. Oh, one more thing that you don't get, which newer iPhones technically do get, is, well, Apple Intelligence. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. I heard new Siri is killing it, so